What looks normal during the day, but scary at night, your kid standing next to your bed. The best is when I jolt awake with their face like an inch from mine, terrifies me. Old thoroughly enjoys waiting until I'm seconds from a deep sleep and then using my leg that's hanging over the edge of the bed as a ladder to climb up into bed with me. I thought I got over the fear of my feet hanging off the bed, but it's come back in full force now. That sounds terrifying. My toddler did something similar. We recently moved her crib next to my bed. Well, that first night I woke up startled when I felt a small hand touching my arm. Yep, she was able to reach me from her crib. Someone using a swing set. Small children playing in a park. The woods. Have you ever stared into a tree line just a little too long at night? One of my biggest irrational fears is that I'll look into the tree line just a little too long and see something smart enough to know that it must keep itself secret from humans. Edit. Apparently I was way too vague. I'm not talking about run-of-the-mill wildlife that doesn't want to personally be spotted by a particular human. I'm talking about some kind of freaky shit out of Stranger Things or something that doesn't want humanity to be aware of its existence, and I am therefore in danger for having spotted it. Also the ocean. Frankly, I'm not even on good terms with closed bodies of water. Your body is mostly water. I'm not on good terms with myself. Mirrors. At night, I convince myself that every movement, even my own, is a serial killer who broke in and will murder me soon. I always feel like when I look in the mirror at night I'm gonna see some scary shit behind me. It's literally never happened and logically it never will, but good old anxiety, you know? There's a well-known phenomenon where you actually will see some freaky stuff if you stare at a mirror in a dimly lit room. If it's just your face, it will start warping into different creations of your mind. It can get real scary. I seem to remember reading that if you stare at a mirror in dim light, your brain will start to warp and distort the image so it looks like a different person, ranging from someone with malicious expressions to a full-on grotesque monster, is staring back at you. I already look like Shrek after a farm accident. How much worse could my mind make it? Maybe it'll make you handsome. Gosh, no, anything but that. I used to have this irrational fear. When I was a kid, my sliding closet door was just one big mirror, and my bed was positioned right in front of it on the other side of the room, meaning I could see my reflection when I lie down. I ended up putting a poster over it, because I thought when I would go to sleep, my reflection would sit up and watch me. Welp, not gonna sleep tonight after this mental image. Yes, mirrors, probably because it's so common for a jump scare to appear in a mirror in horror movies. I'm a simple man. I see a mirror in a horror movie, I close my eyes. The basement. In the day the ghosts legally cannot attack you. When it is dark the ghosts can do whatever they want. Currently 5 a.m., I'm sleeping in the basement, just woke up in the middle of the night and I'm scrolling this. Dude, this is not what I need right now. The streets, whole different ball game at night. You become hyper aware of everything, every little noise, every car going past, everything. It puts you on very high alert. You see another person. Have they noticed me? Are they going to follow and rob me? Cornfields. Around 5 p.m. one night, my mom and I were driving through a rural state we'd never been to before, and we wanted to visit a nearby landmark. It started getting dark. The road we were on gradually went from being paved to being gravel to suddenly being a narrow dirt road between towering rows of corn. Felt like we were driving through an endless maze, with no end in sight. To make things worse, the GPS kept leading us back to the same creepy building, which happened to look very cult-y, at least at night. Needless to say, we turned around and I had nightmares about it all night. Imagine if some random person jumped out from behind some corn and into the middle of the road. I wouldn't sleep for days. Don't ever see the movie Signs. Yeah, fudge that movie. Me and my brother made the poor decision to watch it late one night when we were kids and it was pure nightmare fuel. We watched it on DVD with surround sound, and when we finished the movie we just turned the TV off. This made the screen, and by extension the living room, go dark but did not turn off the stereo or DVD player. So we were left in a dark room listening to the horrifying clicking noises the aliens make, which plays on the DVD home screen, losing our shit and yelling for our parents, who were trying to sleep. I cried LOL. My family is spending the weekend in a mountain cabin. Everything is terrifying. City people are out in the country and turn on all the lights to feel comfortable, as they aren't used to the darkness outside. Country people would rather be able to see what's outside looking in, and so only have the lights on when necessary. Can confirm. Somewhat of a city slicker here. Few years ago, sister, nephew and I rented a cabin deep in the woods in a state park. I had to sleep in the bed with a window behind the headboard and beside the bed, not to mention the door just a few more feet to the left. I was fine hiking around all day in the daylight. Once nightfall hit, I was on complete edge, barely slept that weekend. I would have been more than happy to sleep with every outside and inside light on. This reminds me of a time when I went camping with my family. People talked about how the place was haunted. I couldn't sleep one night and I ended up sleeping on the couch in the cabin. I heard footsteps outside on the front porch and wanted to leave so badly. I was so happy when we left. The place was a nightmare. It wasn't haunted, that was just your friendly neighborhood skinwalker making sure everything was okay. Dolls. Looks normal during the day. Nope. Their dead eyes are disturbing no matter the time. My friendy and I took an impulse look to see if anything was left of an old full mountainside chairlift one evening. We followed a track from the remains of the parking lot with a single flashlight, and after a while I figured it was getting dark and we were only working our way up the slope. E wanted to explore more and asked for the flashlight. I could just wait here. I said okay. Wow, like I had a choice about waiting. The sound of E brushing along the overgrown trail soon vanished along with any trace of the flashlight. The forest and the darkness closed in on me. I didn't know trees could be that dark. I'd never been in such blackness without a light switch involved. So I waited, hardly daring to move lest I trip over something and fall down the trail. I swore that half an hour had passed before the sound of footsteps and a flicker of light returned. It probably wasn't half that. I told E it hadn't bothered me at all, but I lied. A cardboard cutout of Danny DeVito in my bedroom. My neighbor's 3 little girls laughing, playing and running around in the yard. Just like they've been doing every night for the last 20 years. My daughter talks in her sleep, and when she was 8 until about 13 she would giggle in her sleep. Freaked me the F out.